All right, everybody, welcome back. I just wanted to make a video real quick explaining all of the sites for the Winter Nexus event. I've seen a lot of people asking. I'm sure a lot of people have it figured out at this point, but I want to explain exactly how the challenges work, what kind of ISK is available, and how to run the different types of sites, the combat sites, the data sites, and the mining sites. Those are the three types that you will need. So you're going to need a combat ship, you're going to need a scanning ship, and you're going to need some type of mining ship. So I just want to also get out of the way real quick. The drone changes have been reverted to how they were previously confirmed in the patch notes. So you can see the drone gameplay change that was implemented has now been reversed. And also, if you have not heard, some of the data sites were dropping Nightmare BPOs, which is not a real thing, and now they're back to BPCs. So otherwise, if you have not heard, there is the Winter Nexus event that is currently happening. Basically, there are metaliminal ice storms that are going through high-sec, low-sec, and null-sec that you can either take a filament to or travel to manually in order to run the sites and claim the rewards. So that'll be going on from now until January 5th, and that is what we're going to be talking about now. So let me switch back to this real quick. So right here we have what I got out of the sites yesterday. This is closer to 2 billion ISK. This was all in one system in high-sec. So I would say these are definitely worth running. And I've been playing for a little bit now, and you don't really come across the ability to stay in one system in high-sec and make this money. So I would say it's a very good deal. The reason that I say that this is 2 billion and not 1 billion is because some of these things have an estimated value of 0. This came out of one site. It was a data site, and this is a 550 million ISK skin. So if you add half a billion to that number, that's 1.5 billion. And also these accelerators that are dropping. I haven't checked in Jita, but last I did check. I haven't checked today, but these are like the potent or the extended ones. These you get at the end of the event, and these were like 150 mil, so I got 2 of those. I bought one of these for 28 mil, so I don't know, or the basic ones for 28 mil, so that's probably like 60. And then a couple of these, maybe there's a 50 mil. So, and then this stuff all drops. And then you get some faction modules every here and there. Bunch of faction ammo. I got some blueprints out of the data sites, and the filaments. So you can take the filaments to these different systems. You can buy them on the market. You can get them from running the sites they drop, or you can get them from the login rewards. Those are how you acquire those. They transport you to a metaliminal storm with these challenges in high-sec, low-sec, or null-sec, and you will be able to tell accordingly by the name of it. This is a high-sec filament. This is a high-sec filament. This is a low-sec filament, and a null-sec filament. Those will drop, and also you will get this loot, which can be sold to NPCs, NPC buy orders on the market, and you can find those just by right-clicking, going View Market Details, and it'll tell you. So you will guaranteed get paid for this loot. This drops from all the sites. From my experience, the combat sites are the best. ISK, for sure, because of the spawn rate and how much you get out of them. I would 100% say if you're going for just the money, not the challenges, go ahead and go for the combat sites. Mining, I have not had the best of luck with. Basically you mine ice, you exchange it for loot boxes. You open loot boxes, and pretty much from what I've seen from that, you get junk. But and the data is pretty good, but the spawn rates are pretty low. So I would say if you were going to low-sec or null-sec, run the data sites. You're probably going to be the safest. If you want the most money, run the low-sec sites in the combat low-sec sites. Now, we do have the challenges that go along with these. I'm going to show you how these work, how to find them. We're going to do that real quick, and we're going to talk about that. So I just want to cover all of how it works in the video so there are no more questions about any of it. I found an area here by just going to my map and looking for, there are not normally metaliminal storms in high sec or low sec, they're only in null sec. So if you do not want to buy the filaments, if you do not know at this point, you can open your map and you can just go to this tab. You know, we talked about this yesterday, but just to go over it, go under Geography and Statistics and click on Metaliminal Storms, and then this will show you all these dots. That's where the metaliminal storms are. So any dot that is in high sec or low sec will be probably an ice storm, almost guaranteed an ice storm. You can go to that system. That's where the events are going to be going if you don't want to use the filaments. And that's how I have done it, and I just literally stay in one system. Then when you get there, you know, you have all these challenges that you have to do. We'll look at that real quick while we're warping. There are multiple ways to find the combat sites. You can open up your probe scanner down here at the bottom, and you can just look for White Storm forward base, and then you can warp directly to that. That is one way to find them. Or you can open your agency. You can go to combat anomalies, and they will be listed. I found there are groups of these, so you can basically just run these endlessly. The spawn rate is really high, and the payout is pretty good. It's an RNG payout, so the more you run, the better off you're going to be. I made 2 billion ISK in like a day, so I would say that's really good money. So the way the challenges work, talk about that real quick. As you can see, I've pretty much almost done all of them. So you have 4 active challenges at once, and those are also represented on the left here. So right now we have data vaults that we want to open. That is just doing the data sites. We have a Soundship battleship that needs destroyed. And we have a couple other sites that need done too. One of them is low sec site. So for the combat site, you warp in, there's an acceleration gate. I would suggest using a battleship unless you're in low sec or null sec. Then you might need something else. I was using a rattlesnake. I switched to a Leshak because it is faster. And we'll run this real quick just to show you how it works while we talk about these challenges. So basically, you're going to get these challenges, you're going to go and do them, and they're all in the same system. You do not need to leave and go to another system. As you know, the spawn rates differ. The combat anomalies, they respawn pretty quickly. The ice mining field, that stays there indefinitely. That does not go anywhere. So if you just wanted to mine ice all day for the loot drop boxes, you can totally do that. And the data sites, they respawn the slowest, and there's generally only 2 of them per system, and they are very hard to scan down. You do need really good scanning skills, or you're going to need a bunch of rigs and modules on your ship to increase your scanning strength along with scanning probes. I do not have super high scanning skills, but I have a good amount. So on the combat sites, these guys are all going to warp in. Here, it's 2 waves in high sec. I think it's more waves in low sec. I haven't gone there because I'm making enough money in high sec that I really have no motivation to go and potentially die right now. Maybe I'll get into it later. You would not want to use this fit for that. So we're just going to kill these dudes real quick. So there'll be 1 wave. You know, sometimes they warp around to different areas. And you just kill off the first wave. You do get warp scrambled, you do get webbed, and you do get neutralized. So it is important to take all those things into account, because if you are not fit correctly, it can be very dangerous. You can die. If there is competition for these sites, the way that it works is the battleship at the end is the only ship that has the loot box. And that kill will go to whoever does the most DPS. So I had a bunch of people saying, "Oh, well, a battleship is overkill. I've been taking a Tengu or a battle. You know, you don't need to take a battleship, yada yada." And I said, "Well, that's cool. You can go ahead and take your Tengu, and then when I out DPS you at the end, I'll get the loot." And that's exactly what has happened. You know, you have these people, they come in, and you know, I just put so much DPS on the thing that I just get the loot drop. So that's something to keep in mind. You know, if you wanted to, I'm sure you could go and loot it from them, you know, steal it, whatever. That would probably work if you wanted to, you know, take that type of gameplay. It's not particularly what I was going for, but also, you know, you can die like that. You can get shot, you can get locked up, whatever. So yeah, generally it's neutralizers and scrammers, so just keep that in mind. And as long as you have enough tank and you have enough cap, I mean, you're pretty much good to go. These are super simple sites to do. The data sites, you will find these in your probe scan window. This is probably one of them right here. So you can open up your probe scan, and when, you know, there might be wormholes. You'll kind of have to scan the system to figure it out, but there should be an unknown cosmic signature. These respawn like every 10 or 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes. They do take a while to respawn, and I've found that in this system it's two sites per system. And they're only data. They're not relic, so you don't need to run around with a relic analyzer. You can keep it on you if you want, but it's only data sites. This is actually a big wave. Sometimes these waves are only 2 frigates and 1 cruiser. Oh, you know, it would have went quicker if I had my tracking speed script installed, but I was not paying attention because I am talking and making a video. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I'm trying to make this as quick as possible for you guys and as thorough as possible. So yeah, you can find the data sites by looking in your probe scanner window. It's like right now, see, now we have 2 signatures. Those are I can guarantee you those are the data sites, which is good because we will go ahead and run that right after we're done with this. Another way you can find those, you can go into the agency, you can go into exploration, you can go into cosmic signatures. Oops, I did not mean to go to my activity tracker. Wow. You can go into cosmic signatures, or I'm sorry, yep. Wrong tab. Wrong tab. Exploration. Cosmic signatures. And then, you know, you can see in your current system these 4 signatures. So one of those or 2 of those is a wormhole, I know. One of them might be a combat anomaly. And then there will be 2 data sites. So this guy, we have a challenge right now that is Sancha Battleship Destroyed. So go ahead and get that out of the way. And this is the dude with the loot box. Nothing else carries loot in these sites. There's not a single other thing that carries loot. And as you can see, he does a fair amount of DPS. Now these loot drops are RNG, random number generated, so sometimes you only get 4 million ISK out of these. But the thing with the combat sites is you can run more of them per hour than you can any other site. So you have way more of a chance of, you know, making a $500 million an hour or $1 billion an hour by running these, because the respawn rate is higher than anything else. Come on, come on, come on, buddy. Alright, so we killed our battleship, we got our reward, and as you see over here, this bar fills up, and then you have to hit claim reward. And then as soon as you hit claim reward, this will give you the points for the challenge, which will be in your agency. It'll give you the points for this challenge, and it'll replace this challenge with another one. So you hit claim reward, and if you don't hit claim reward, it won't replace it. So it's really important to hit that. And then as you can see, it gives you a notification. I got the points, which get me closer to the next skin, and then I got another challenge that came up. And that challenge is to hit a station with a snowball. So you get a festival launcher with snowballs, and as you can see here, look, we got 10 million. So we got the Overseer's effects, which is the loot that you can resell. We got some Yoil Festival fireworks, and we got some other stuff. So the skins are where it's at, but you know, the prices on those might be volatile right now, because the more skins you get, the more people are going to be taking them to market, and the more the prices are going to be dropping. But you know, I pulled a 400 million IS skin out yesterday. I pulled a 550 million IS skin out. I pulled a 200 million IS skin out. A couple 200 million IS skins. So that's really good for high sec. So basically, yeah, you can just keep running those as long as they're in system or you move. Someone else is running them right now because there were like 3. Now there's none. The fading volatile ice field, that is the mining site. That is pretty simple. You just warp straight to that and go into the mining field, which I will show you right now, and then we'll go and run this data site at the same time, just to keep it nice and short, just to thoroughly show you what to do.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Turn all this junk off. So as you can see, that took maybe 5 minutes. I probably could have done it faster if I was paying attention, not making a video. So what I have on this fitting is I have some faction core probes for scanning that give enhanced scanning attributes, and you're gonna need that. You're gonna need pretty good scanning skills or a bunch of mods, and I have 3 modules here and a data analyzer. So what I do for scanning down the sites is I undock, I launch my probes, I go into the probe scanner, and I go to these cosmic signatures here. And go to about 4 AU. And we check that out. And while we're doing that, I'll show you the ore field. So, same thing with the mining site. You can find it here or in your agency window under resource harvesting. It'll be called something volatile ice field. This one is fading volatile ice field. And in high sec there, it's not guarded or anything. It's just a gate. Where am I even at? Here we go. That's where I want to scan. So it's just an acceleration gate right here. You just warp straight to it, and then you can go in. I'm not going to be able to go in because I guess I don't have any of these ships. You can't take a Orca in, or apparently a Stratios, but you can take a expedition frigate, you can take a mining barge, you can take an exhumer, you can take a porpoise. Basically, you warp in, there's ice that just stays there all day long. You go and you mine the ice, and then there is an Orca sitting in the ice field that you take your ice to reprocess. For every 7 units of ice that you get, that gives you a loot box that you can open. And in that loot box, you have skins, you have overseers effects, and you have salvage. Honestly, for me, it has been pretty junky. Now, in low sec and null sec, those sites may have enemies in them. This high sec site has a little angel frigate rats that warp in, and you just blap those right out of the way, and then that's it. Super easy. For those, just make sure you have a combat drone with you, or something to kill those with. So as you can see, we're down to 0.25 AU, which is the highest scan resolution that you can have, the smallest little scan bubble. And we have a Witstorm comms relay, which is the data site. As you can see, that's part of our challenge. We have to open 3 data vaults. We're only going to be able to do 2 here because only 2 sites spawn. And the way I do this is I run the combat sites until they run out, and then I usually go and run the 2 data sites if no one else has ran them until those are gone. And then by the time I'm done with these, there's usually the combat sites are back up again. So I'm going towards this data cache while I'm scanning the next one. I haven't really not been doing the best job at scanning here. Yep, and then we activate our data module. Obviously. I'm not going to be doing the best job at this either, just because I'm trying to get it done as fast as possible. There we go, look at that. So you just hack it, it's not a difficult hack. I only have T1, and there you go, you got the Overseer's effects. There are skins and stuff in there too, but it's not really like, I don't know, I've pulled the best stuff out of the combat sites. Like, the scanning sites really have not been all that great, although I did get that Orca skin out of a scanning site, so I'm sure it's probably, the RNG is basically the same for all of them. But the thing is, you can just do more of the combat sites, so. And as you can see, this gave us 1 data vault open towards our challenge. So we got to open 3 data vaults to hit that challenge, and then when we do, we'll get those points, and that'll go towards our, you know, stuff. So we'll get 10 points from this, and that's a repeatable challenge. So basically, what'll happen is every time you do one of the challenges, you claim it, and then it's replaced with like a new challenge, and then you just keep doing them. So, if you wanted the best rewards, like low-sec is going to be where it's at. They have the highest rewards for everything. So, in my opinion, the exploration would be the way to go in the low-sec. You could probably do that pretty safely, pretty reliably. You know, hide out with a cloak on, not have to worry about it. Combat sites for low-sec, you're probably asking for trouble unless you can find some sort of dead-end system. Just gonna run this real quick for the challenge, and then I'll show you the ice field, and then that'll be everything. That will be all of them. And I don't know, maybe I'll figure out a timestamp or split the video up. I'm not sure if I can do that on YouTube yet. And these are pretty easy. Like I said, I have not the best hacking skills. I'm kind of not even really trying. I've generally found that the little part of the virus that you need is kind of usually on the ends and the corners. Yeah, right there. What is this called? The system core. That's what it's called. The system core. There you go. So not anything in that one, but these are specifically the event sites, the Witstorm, communication relays, and then you can see that went towards our challenge, and then those will respawn in like 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. Like, I haven't set a timer or anything, so I'm not sure. If you wanted to, like, I've noticed that these storms encompass like several systems at a time, and you could just jump to the next system and scan there. So I think it's good to find a little system that doesn't have a lot of people in it. And the storm effects are 4% increase in ship thermal resistances and 10% reduction in heat damage from overheating modules. So the thermal resistance will come in good for the combat sites. So yeah, only thing left is the ice sites, which I'll show you real quick. It is super simple. Come on, change the ship. Here we go. Undock. Let's go. And there was an ice mining challenge, like that comes up just like these other ones. I just don't have any right now. There's no challenges. You only have 4 active ones at a time, but one of them was to mine 60 pieces of ice, which was a lot. I was not that excited about it.
Warp drive active.
So yeah, I mean, if you just want to sit in the same system and you know, you did the data sites, you did the combat sites, I mean, you can just sit in the ice field and just mine ice until they respawn, and then use that ice to swap in for the loot box, which I have 6 pieces of ice. You need 7 pieces of ice to swap for a loot box.
Warp drive active.
I mean, if you had really good ice mining skills, like maxed out, maybe this would be worth it to just sit here and do this all day. These don't. I mean, they do run out, but all you do is warp out and warp back in, and then that's like it. So what you would do is you would go over to one of these pieces of ice over here to you know, and then you'd mine that until you got 7 pieces, and there is an ore fated volatile ice processor. It is an orca that is sitting over here. And you just fly towards it until you get close enough to it. You right-click on it, and then you click Access. And then what will happen is you can trade your ice for loot boxes. So, you go Access. You need 7 pieces of ice. You hit Accept. It gives you a green loot box that goes directly into your cargo. And then you open it. And then, you know, from my experience, you really don't get anything. There aren't any enemies. It doesn't despawn. It just stays in the same place the whole time. You know, I'm sure that there's probably, you know, in low sec and null sec there might be some enemies, so I don't know about that because I have not gone there yet. So anyways, yeah, that's everything. That's all of the information all at once, all in one video. I wanted to put it all out there. That's how you do all of it. You can use the filaments to just jump around if you wanted to, like if you didn't feel like waiting. But then you might end up in a situation where you're 50 jumps away, you're 100 jumps away, and then you don't want to get back. But the cool part is you have high sec filaments. So those aren't normally available. That's not normally something that's in the game. So that's exciting. You could jump into null sec, do these sites, and then just jump right back out into high sec. So that seems like a lot of fun. Maybe I'll try that. So yeah, there you go. And then you just do that until your points add up. These challenges get replaced by something else. And then, yeah. So there you go. I've done a whole bunch of it. It's working out pretty good. I want to share all the information all at once. And there you have it. So if this helped you, go ahead and hit the like button. You know, consider subscribing. I try to put out as much helpful content as I possibly can when I get a chance. And I will catch you guys in Eve. Thanks.